Not long ago, I published this podcast interview that I had with Lois Hollis, and something that she really focuses on is shame and guilt. And I've been really thinking a whole bunch as to why is it that inside the cult, the leadership especially, they focus so much on shame and guilt. Well, it's crazy because they would say, "Hey, we're all about love, we're all about goodness, we're all about charity." They would say that, but their actions were the total opposite. Their God wasn't love, their God was shaming people, their God was humiliating people, their God was making people feel miserable, their God was making people cry, their God was shaming people, shunning people, putting people to the side. That became their God. And I asked myself, why is it that I let it happen? Why is it that for so many years I thought that I was the bad person. I thought that I was the worst person. And I really think that there are two main reasons, at least in my experience. And one is fear. There was so much fear that if I were to speak up, I'd be going to hell. There was fear that if I didn't allow these terrible people to punish me or uh, to treat me the way they did, totally disrespectful, totally abusive, that if I were to speak up or say something, that I would be a walking curse because they would tell us that once you disobey us, you're hexed, you're infested by demons, that God isn't going to bless your family, that your family for generation to generation is going to be filled with curses, but only with us, they would tell us. If you stay with us and if you obey us, you're going to be blessed. So, what is it? Are you going to stay blessed, receive the gifts from God, and go to heaven? Or are you going to damn yourself and damn your family to eternity of fire? And so yeah, I was like, damn, all right, well shit, I'm gonna do this. Because I had so much fear. But at the same time, with all that fear that I was going through, I also allowed them to have control. So going back, why is it that there was so much shame, guilt at the center was I think because they wanted us to be hell of afraid so that we wouldn't speak up. And at the same time, they wanted us to give up our lives and to put it into their hands. And so I had so much fear that I couldn't make my own decisions. I couldn't I couldn't see myself as someone who had a or who could have a relationship with God, or I couldn't see myself as being capable of making decisions and of moving forward. Because even after I left, I saw myself as a terrible person. I saw other ex members as terrible people, and it was messing with my mind. But something that I really liked about that interview with Lois Hollis was yes, we talk about the shame guilt, but then shame guilt is a negative energy. It's dark, it's ugly. But on the flip side, there is this love energy, there is this good energy, and something that I really want to share, at least from my journey, is that even though I went through all that shame, all that shunning, all of that negativity, my family, they showed me love energy. They showed me charity. They showed me that they loved me, not just by words, but by actions, by being there. And even when I didn't want to talk, they respected that. They were there for me when I was ready. They weren't pushing me to tell them, "Hey, this happened to me, that happened to me." They knew I wasn't ready. And yes, I knew it affected them, but despite all that, they were patient and they were kind. And that is the total opposite of that shame, guilt energy. They showed me that love energy. They were kind to me, they were patient with me, and they were there for me.